Hey there, CJ Math students, and welcome to homework 1.12, Rational Numbers Equivalency. This is a practice homework. Sorry, please write that up here in the corner. I forgot to label that. Meaning you're practicing the skills that you've already learned. Now, just because these are multiple choice questions doesn't mean you don't have to show work. In fact, you have to show work on every single problem. So, how is 0.05 written as percent? So how would I show work here? I'd say 0.05. And say, all right, that's a decimal. I want to change it to percent. Oh, I swoop twice to the right. It's going to be very tempting to write 50%, but remember 0.05 is 5%, not 50%. 50% would be 0.5, right? So that's a good way you can also show work right there. Number two, which of the following fractions is equivalent to 40%? How could I show work? I say, oh, percent means per 100. So I could say 40 over 100. And then I can try and start to simplify that. So I can divide by 20. Divide by 20, right? When I do that, I get 40 divided by 20 is 2. 100 divided by 20 is 5. So I'm looking for 2/5. It's right there. And then I could also show work by saying, 1/4. I know that's 0.25, so that can't be the right answer. 4/5. I know that's 0.80, so that can't be the right answer. Oh, and 9 over 20, if I multiply by 5, I'll get 45 over 100, which is 0.40 or 40%, so I know that can't be the answer, right? So that's how we can use process of elimination and show all of our work, right? We're putting all the knowledge that we have in our brain down onto the paper, right? Number 5, choose the decimal value that is equal to 12 over 25. How do I make 12 over 25? I could do the division, or I could be like, this is something that I know I can make base 10 out of, right? I can say times 4 times 4, I get 48 over 100. Because it is now base 10, I can just say, I just look for 0.48, there it is, right? 0.24 be 24 over 100, and if I divide by, say, 4, I'll get something like 6 over 25, so that can't be my answer. 18 over 100, if I divide by 2, I get 9 over 50, so that can't be my answer. I shouldn't be shading these in. Sorry, I should be crossing these out. Goodbye. And 12 over 100 divided by 4 again, I can get 3 over 25. So it's really important that you know your factors of 100 in order to make sure that you can complete these nice and quickly. All right, number 7, change 6.5 into a percentage. Now, 6.5 into a percentage. We start from the decimal and move 2 spaces to the right. 1 space, 2 space, right? Notice we have an empty space, so that's going to get filled in with a 0, so it's 650%. This makes sense because we have 6 holes, which means we should have at least 600%, right, in our answer. And then obviously the 0.5 is 50 extra percent, right? This as a decimal would be 0.65. This would be 0.06. And this as a decimal, start from the decimal, move back. This percentage would be 0.065. So all of those are incorrect. And again, I've shown work. Again, you're going to want to show work both for your correct answer and incorrect answer on the even problems. 0.125. What is this decimal as a percent? So 0.125, remember, it's always just swoop twice to the right. So once, twice. There we go. It's 12.5%. So right here, C. 1.25 as a decimal, 1.25% as a decimal would have been once, twice, would have been 0.0125. So that can't be the answer. 125 once, twice would have been 1.25, so that can't be the answer, and this once, twice would have been 12.50, so that can't be the answer, right? Again, anything over 100% is going to have a whole number, so 125%, 1.25. 1250% makes sense that it has 12 holes, right? Because once, twice, the decimal ends up between the 2 and the 5. Let's go on to the back. So on the back, I'm doing number 11. What is the decimal of 17 over 100? Now, to show work here, you could say, this is per 100, so this is 0.17. That's pretty simple, right? These answers don't make sense at all, okay? What is a fraction equal to 0.40? So 0.40, you can say, this is in the hundredths place, right? Since it's in the hundredths place, I can do 40 over 100, and then I can simplify it, divide by 20, divide by 20. What do I get? I get 2 over 5, so B again, right? When you're doing number 14, let's make sure you stack your decimals. 0.009, 5.1, 5.05, and 5.049. And now fill in all your empty spaces with 0, and now you're just going to pick the biggest number out of there. So you can read that as 5,009, 5,100, 5,050, 5,049. You want the largest number, right? That's a good way. You will see a problem definitely like that on your test. Express 6.4 as a fraction with a mixed number. So 6 is obviously our whole number, right? 6. So anything that doesn't have 6 is out, so 6/4. And then 0.4, we know that's in the tenths place. So you can say that's 4 over 10. Oh, got to simplify it. So that's 2/5. So we're looking for 6 and 2/5. And obviously B is our answer. How much will it cost to buy 2 pizzas and 2 hot dogs? So 2 pizzas, it's going to have to do $4.99 times 2. And 2 hot dogs, you're going to have to do $1.99 times 2. You're going to actually have to do this math, right? And remember to swoop twice on both, because you had 2 decimals. And then you're going to have to add your answers together to get your total, right? Number 17, what's 0.68 as a percent? Well, it's easy, 0.68. And then I swoop the decimal twice to the right, once, twice, that's 68%. 68%. Okay. This, if I swoop twice back to left, that would have been 0.068. This once, twice, that would have been 0.0068. This once, twice would have been 0.0608. And obviously this once, twice would have been 0.68. Notice, answer choice B is the only one where I can start at the end. All the other ones have a decimal, so I have to start from that decimal. So like for 4%, it doesn't have a decimal, so you can start from the end and swoop twice to the left, right? 19. According to the survey, what fraction of people said they prefer Pepsi? So here's Pepsi. It's 10%. So basically, they're actually, what fraction is 10%? Well, that's per 100, 10 over 100, or divide by 10, which is 1/10. C. Here they're asking what values are equivalent. A is not the answer. 9% would be equal to 0.09, not 0.9. That's 90%, right? So look carefully through that. Just like C is not the answer. 7% would be equal to 7 over 100, not 7 over 10. 7 over 10 is 70%. All right, 21. Circle the object which is shaded less than 50%. Well, this is definitely 50% right there, so that's out. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So out of 9, we have 6 out of 9. And 6/9, which is really 2/3, which is really 0.666 repeated, which is 66.6% repeated. So that's greater than 50%, so that's out. This is 1/3, which is 0.333 repeated, which is 33.3% repeated, which is less than 50%. So that's your answer, C. And then D obviously is incorrect, but let's see, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 11 out of 20. If I do base 10 there, that's 55 over 100, which is 55%. So that's greater than 50% as well. All right, so C is your answer. Lastly, Roxanne answered 21 out of 30 problems correctly. What percent did she score correctly? This, you're literally just going to have to do the math. You're going to have to do the division. 30 goes into 21. It doesn't, so you put decimal, decimal, 0. And then 30 goes into 210. Or just imagine 3 goes into 21, right? Goes in there 7 times. It's 210, 0.7. Which is 0.7 once, twice. It's not 7%, it is 70%, D. Don't be surprised if questions like these pop up on your test. So if you didn't understand them, rewind, rewatch the video. Call me if you have questions.